Everybody, we have an important public service announcement
on bacterial resistance.
Now, what is bacterial resistance? Before I answer this question, let me first explain what antibiotics are and their use. Antibiotics are medicines used to treat infections caused by bacteria, hence the name antibiotic. However, as a result of antibiotics, bacteria can develop the unfortunate ability of immunity towards the effects of the antibiotics and will grow and multiply into colonies of bacteria which are also resistant. This is bacterial resistance, the capacity of bacteria to be able to endure the effects of antibiotics, and this is caused by misuse or overuse of antibiotics. Understanding this concept is very important.
So how does this happen? Bacterial resistance comes about one or two ways: mutations or through something called horizontal gene transfer, otherwise known as HGT. HGT is a specific function of pathogen evolution. Once one type of bacteria contains coding for bacterial resistance, these genes can move and transfer to other organisms, spreading the overall resistance. This happens through one of three ways: transformation, conjugation, or transduction. Transformation is when DNA is added from the environment to new bacteria cells. Conjugation occurs when bacteria transfers genes from one cell to another, and transduction occurs when bacteriophages or viruses transfer the genes independently. Mutations allow the bacteria to survive against conditions and chemicals specifically designed to target these bacteria. The bacteria that have the mutations survive in mediums that are specifically targeted to kill these bacteria and then continue to produce more resistant overall colonies of bacteria. Now, there are two main social and industrial practices that spur on bacterial resistance. They're largely spurred on by the overall overusage of antibiotics in modern medicine, as overusage increases the exposure of antibiotics to bacteria, allowing the bacteria to gain resistance, and two, incorrect prescription for the same reason as overusage of these antibiotics.
So, what can be done? Like my team said, antibiotic resistance is an utmost problem for the future of the human race. The overuse of antibiotics is a key factor for the prevalence of antibiotic resistance. On the individual, national, and international level, there are several ways to prevent or discourage bacteria from developing antibiotic resistance. Individually, only use antibiotics when it's effective against the bacteria you're infected with. This will help prevent the bacteria from developing an immunity to that antibiotic if being overused. Following your doctor's advice and completing the treatment as prescribed will also help against antibiotic resistance. Several people stop taking their antibiotics once the symptoms are relieved. This will give the surviving bacteria the ability to evolve, while the treatment will have eliminated the bacteria. Also, antibiotic resistance can be prevented through immunization and maintaining a clean hygiene. On the national and international level, guide policies and ensure public health services will help as a propaganda method to inform the public on measures on how to prevent and discourage antibiotic resistance.